The 49ers have a new starting quarterback, Trey Lance. He was last year's number 3 overall pick, and Trey Lance has a lot to prove. I'm hoping Trey Lance plays incredible, cross your fingers, let's hope for that. He's got potential similar to a guy like Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. He's a big athlete, can run, got a massive arm. And the 49ers also have got a good team around him. They've got an impressive defense. They've got a good offensive line, a good running game. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk at receiver, George Kittle at tight end. I'm very hopeful that the 49ers could be good and that I believe very much that they're giving Trey Lance all the tools he needs to be successful. In fact, they've got a new quarterback coach I really like. They've got Brian Griese, a former NFL quarterback and former Monday Night Football broadcaster. I'd imagine he's going to be really good for Trey Lance. But, there's a lot of pressure on Trey Lance this fall, and it feels like there's going to be a short fuse if he screws up because the 49ers did something very, very weird this offseason. They brought back their old quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. The team and him made a separation. He was their quarterback last year. They said, we're going to replace you with Trey Lance. He wanted to get traded away. Then they gave him a 1-year contract extension. By the way, with a no-trade clause, so he's not going to get traded. I think part of that was Jimmy Garoppolo wanted to choose where his next opportunity is going to be. He wanted to become a free agent. But bringing Jimmy Garoppolo back did not give me a lot of confidence in Trey Lance, or really didn't make me feel like the 49ers have a lot of confidence in Trey Lance. It's very weird. And it feels like Jimmy G is a looming threat sitting right behind Trey Lance. And I worry that if Trey Lance screws up at all, 49ers fans are going to be calling for Jimmy Garoppolo to become the starting quarterback and replace Trey Lance. Is it possible the 49ers simply want Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup? I guess. It's possible they want him if he gets hurt because Trey Lance does run around a lot. Maybe he does get hurt this year. But it's a very weird scenario, and there's a lot of pressure when you replace a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo has taken the 49ers on multiple deep and long playoff runs. In 2019, they lost the Super Bowl. Last year in 2021, they went to the NFC title game and ran into a brick wall called the LA Rams. I mean, Trey Lance has got a lot to prove, and there's a lot of pressure on him to perform, and I don't think they're helping Trey Lance by keeping Jimmy Garoppolo and bringing him back. So we'll see. A lot of pressure on the guy. I'm hopeful, though. I think there's a good team around him. He's very talented. I want to see him prove himself, but I'd feel a lot better if they hadn't made that weird, confusing move to bring Jimmy Garoppolo back. We'll find out. Is it because they don't believe in Trey Lance? Is it because they just wanted a good backup? I'm not really sure. I get that they didn't want to let Jimmy Garoppolo go away for nothing. If they cut him, they would have had to pay him to be on someone else's team, so they refused to cut him. But I'm excited. I want to watch Trey Lance do great. I'm hopeful for him. Hope he's got a smooth sailing, incredible, sophomore year, first year as a starting quarterback. But the Jimmy Garoppolo move definitely muddied the water and made me very confused as to the confidence level the 49ers have in their young quarterback, Trey Lance. Now, Ace wrote in with a question on Patreon. You can write in on Patreon as well. Go to patreon.com/Zach Schaumler. Ace wrote in and said, what do you think of Jimmy Garoppolo reworking his contract to remain in San Francisco for one more year? More importantly, how poorly does Trey Lance have to play before Kyle Shanahan reverts back to Jimmy G? Or do you think it would take an injury to see Jimmy G back on the field as a starter? Like I said, bringing Jimmy G back was a weird, weird move. It sends the message that the 49ers do not trust their quarterback, Trey Lance. And I'll repeat it. I think the trade market was very weak. They didn't want to pay him or trade him for nothing or pay him to cut him and pay him to play on another football team. And Jimmy Garoppolo is a very good backup quarterback. Here's what I think it would take to get Jimmy G back on the field as a starting quarterback for the 49ers. Either an injury to Trey Lance, which is very possible. His play style puts his body at risk a lot. But also, if Trey Lance is losing games and he's the reason why they're losing, that would be a call right there to say, hey, we pulled the trigger too early on this Trey Lance thing. We've got one more year with Jimmy G. We're going to play Jimmy Garoppolo a little more because your locker room is a fragile, fragile beast. And when your locker room, the teammates around Trey Lance, if they lose confidence in Trey Lance and they think he's not the best quarterback to help them win games, they want to win. And if they think Jimmy Garoppolo can win them games, you got to play Jimmy Garoppolo because you don't want to lose games and be putting your second best quarterback on the field. So I just think that the 49ers created a really uncomfortable scenario for themselves by bringing back Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out this fall.